So it's time for our Tuesday wrap of who has their name in lights and who is making the headlines for all the wrong reasons after the weekend. So first of all, we have They're on Fire. Now, Ardie Savea was certainly on fire this weekend. Now, what a player, what a season. Savea was crowned the Super Rugby Pacific Player of the Year with 2 rounds of the regular season still to play on Sunday. Such has been his dominance, Savea has led Moana Pacifica to the brink of the playoffs, and he was towering yet again in the win over the Blues on Saturday. A few hours after that victory, a Super Rugby Pacific statement was released, naming Savea the tournament's best, as he had established an unassailable lead in voting. Now, Darcy Graham's point. He was one of the surprising omissions in Andy Farrell's British and Irish Lions squad announcement, with Matt Hansen joining Tommy Freeman as the other right-wing options. All the Scotland international can do is keep his head down and perform for club side Edinburgh. And that's exactly what he did on Friday with a hat-trick of tries in their win over Ulster. If there is a back 3 injury before or during this tour, then surely Graham is the first cab off the rank. Now, George Ford has also been on fire. And speaking of Lions snubs, Ford is another who may be feeling a little bit perplexed at not hearing his name read out by Ewan Evans. Sale Sharks captain Ben Curry could not speak highly enough of his fly half after their win over Bristol Bears, calling him the standard bearer in the squad, providing them with a cheat code against the opposition. His 16-point haul was just the tip of the iceberg, as he is arguably playing the best rugby of his career. Now, Danny Care's farewell, it may not have been the fairy tale finish in terms of scoring a match-winning try, but it was still a winning end on home soil for Care, as the Harlequins legend said goodbye to his beloved Stoop with a 24-22 win over Exeter Chiefs. Starting on the bench but wearing jersey number 9, Care came on for Will Porter for the closing stages and helped his side snatch a narrow Premiership victory. His decision to retire did come as a shock, but what a Quins legend he is. Now, Antoine Dupont's move, who saw this coming? France star Antoine Dupont became a stakeholder in Major League Rugby side Rugby FC Los Angeles this week after his company Quest Coast decided to invest in the American outfit. Now, what a boost for the MLR and USA Rugby in general to have Dupont's name attached to it. Now, Augustus and co, what a moment for the informed Northampton Saints number 8, as he was picked in South Africa's latest alignment camp squad, joining a whole host of fellow uncapped players. Now, Augustus was excellent in Northampton Saints' recent Champions Cup semi-final win over Leinster and will be playing against them again next season in the URC when he moves to Ulster. Now, it's worth remembering Bath are now top dogs in the English Premiership, and Johan van Graan was delighted with his side's attitude in their 43-15 victory over old foes Leicester Tigers on Saturday, as they extended their lead at the Premiership Summit to 15 points. In the top of the table clash, Leicester were blown away in the second half at the Recreation Ground in an eventual 7-try success. Bath are hot favourites for the domestic title if they can continue in this vein. But before that, there's a Challenge Cup final this Friday, as they face Lyon. Now, on the flip side of the coin, there was some terribly sad news from South Africa, as Cornel Hendricks was confirmed dead after a suspected heart attack, aged just 37. Now, the outpouring of grief from all around the rugby world summed up what a loss this is, as Hendricks, who had been forced into retirement with a serious heart condition in 2016, but returned to action in 2019 for the Bulls, made an impact with all he played with and against. The Bulls truly did him proud on Saturday. Now, once again, there is turmoil in Welsh Rugby Union, as the WRU have confirmed that Scarlet and Ospreys are still yet to sign up for the new professional rugby agreement. And they have now issued a 2-year notice on the current deal. This could trigger a merger of the two clubs as the WRU shifts focus to a 3-team model in the coming years. Now, understandably, this has sparked outrage in Wales, particularly after Cardiff entered administration, with the union taking over the club. Going forward, the 4 unions will not be evenly funded, the WRU has confirmed, which has just added further fuel to the fire. There is a setback for Evan Roos. To not be named in a 54-player squad for the Springboks alignment camp is a huge blow to the Stormers' number 8. And with the get-together mostly involving off-field work, it does not appear to be an injury-related absence. While this snub would stun most countries, it is staggering the talent that is named in his place, as Augustus is joined by Cameron Hanekom, Jasper Wiese, and Jean-Luc Dupries, with even Quagga Smith and Siya Kolisi capable of filling in at number 8. Now, from finishing 6th in last campaign to ending up in 14th place at the close of the regular season will not make for pretty reading for Ulster fans, as their heavy loss to Edinburgh and results elsewhere saw them drop down the final standings. Comparing last term to this, sees them 16 points worse off. But it's Munster, in fact, who are the biggest URC fallers, as they dropped 17 points from last season's tally. Moving on, we have the dreadful Dragons, and it was a tough season for the URC basement dwellers, who fell to one final defeat on Saturday, going down to the Bulls in Pretoria. The Dragons end the season with just one victory in the league, losing on 17 occasions. They didn't fare any better in the Challenge Cup either, winning just one of their 4 matches. Now that's all we have today for Hot or Cold. Now please keep an eye out for our further videos. My name is Jack Tunney. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.